I'm super excited about my econ because of the freedom, the flexibility that it allowed for me and my family to have. Before my econ, I was in the military and we had more month than we had money. After applying the strategies and using the system, we've been able to cash flow up to $700,000. I have retired without having to get a retirement job, and my wife is on the same path to retire within the next 2 years so we could just live our life on purpose and with our kids. That's why I'm excited about my econ.
We're in this room because we've come from so many different companies within this amazing industry in so many different countries, but we all deal with the same thing. So there's no faking it here, right? We're here not to compete with one another, which is a rare culture, by the way. Thank you, Art Jonak, for creating a culture like this. We're not here to compete, but complete one another. A rare culture in our industry, a rare culture to have, right? Because wealth is a minority. If it was a majority, everybody would have it. But everybody doesn't have $1 million, so it makes it a minority. That means that the majority of folks won't believe in what you're doing. They won't follow what you're doing because it's a minority. If it was a majority, everybody would say, oh yeah, network marketing, direct sales, count me in. But because it's not that, it's a minority. So don't expect to see the majority do what the minority only have. And so let's make sure we don't have a false expectation right from the beginning of our list. Look, I made a list, my first list ever. They said, look, make out a list of everybody you know. Don't prejudge, right? You've been told this. Don't prejudge. And so I did so. I made a list of everybody that I wanted to put on the list. It was 116 people. Now, I'm sure I knew more people than that. I was in my 20s, and I knew more people than 116. But those are folks that I felt comfortable putting on the list. 116 people. Your money may not come from the people on your list, but through the people on your list. And so sometimes we get so caught up on the people on our list and who's joining and who's not, but it's what's coming through your list, not necessarily what's on your list. If I was worried about the people who were on my list, I wouldn't be in front of you today, that's for sure, because out of 116, only one is with me. And by the way, the one that's with me is not the superstar. That's the one who led to the superstar. So not any of our Millionaire Club members, not any of our six-figure incomers, none of them were on my initial list. Sometimes our hesitancy, our fear is contacting the people on our list because we're concerned about what they're going to think about what we're doing, concerned about what we're saying, if we're going to say the right thing. But if you put your mindset, and it's not just that person, but who can come through them, then maybe you'll contact them knowing that it's not so much about them, but who they know. And so this is very important that we understand that our list is bigger than what's on your piece of paper. This is the feeling you gotta have because the attitude comes before the paycheck. People say it all the time. It's easy for you. You think that way because money's not an issue in your life anymore. No, the attitude came before the paycheck. I had to think that way first. Posture. Now, I get excited when people tell me my brother's with me. We're doing it together as a family. My mom is with me. My son is with me. That's admirable, and I get excited for you. It's just not my story. This is the reason why you come to events like this, and we invite our teams to come to events like this, because even when I can't reach my team, a third party can. Because perhaps they can't relate to my story because no one on my list is really with me except one. But there's someone else who will get on the stage and say, my mom's with me, my son's with me, everybody with me. It's a whole family affair. And then you can relate to that because your family's with you. You can't relate to my story because my family's not with me. My family said, are you rich yet? You making $1 million yet? I was in for 3 months. You're like, you rich yet, son? I'm like, Dad, you've been driving the bus for 30 years. You ain't rich yet. I didn't say that. I just thought about it. Because my father didn't believe in timeout. I'd have been knocked out in the corner.
All right, testing 1, 2, and 3. Making sure that you guys are able to hear me. So if I can get one person or two or 15,000 to put number one, if you guys can hear me, okay. All right. So definitely want to welcome everybody and the people that have definitely said, hey, Mike, I'm over here in the chat section. And that is Pastor Sims. Welcome out of Greenville, South Carolina. Oh, Anderson, South Carolina. Sorry about that. Brittany Caldwell, straight out of Lawrence, South Carolina. Clinton, or somewhere around in there, forgive me. John, Big JR, out of Lawrence, Greenville, Simpsonville as well. Yashika McMorris, welcome, straight out of Simpsonville, South Kakalaki. And my man, Big Corey Turner. Hey, how you doing, my man? And out of Greenville, South Carolina as well. All right. So thank you guys for putting the ones up in there. Welcome, Dre. That's what we have out of Simpsonville, South Carolina as well. Thank you. Welcome to the mompreneur as well. Appreciate it. Cool beans. All right. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to continue doing what we always do about this time. Now, I don't have a beat to drop, so I'm not going to go into that one up. So what we want to do, though, we want to make sure that you guys have already, you should have already logged in. And not right now, but you should have already logged into your credit monitoring systems so that you can actually have your credit started. And when you start your credit, it is only $1 to start. And once you have gotten that over, just let somebody know that you've already got that started. And if you need to cancel that particular credit monitoring, it has a 7-day. So just let us know and we can go ahead and pull you into the system before the 7 days is up so that you can go ahead and cancel the credit monitoring if you need to, because sometimes things get pretty tight, right? So we want to make sure that that is a-okay, right? So what I want to do now, I'm going to go back over so you can see exactly where those are, where we're starting from, okay? And where you are not started from, because this is episode 3. So if you have not seen these, right, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you go and view the videos of the last week. Okay, and you can just simply, just like you're on here now, if you are watching on the website, you can click the button that's on the video. I think it's on the bottom left. It says watch on YouTube. Okay, and so you can click that button and then you can watch us on YouTube, and you can do like all the other individuals here and let us know who you are, where you're calling in from. This way, if you have questions as well, you can definitely see that here. Okay. And so that's what we want to do, be able to drop those here. So we want to be able tonight, and every time we plug in on Thursdays, is to actually put our plans to work. You know, what put the purpose to what they say, put the metal meets the road or something like that, right? Welcome, Carolyn Penn out of Greenville, South Carolina. So we want to make sure that you're activating those things, because there's no reason to be out there and you're wanting to do better, right? I understand that we have all these things happening, right? But we have to get to the place to where we know we should get better. And when we do that, then we'll change the thoughts that led us to right here, right? It's good enough, right? It's okay to say, okay, hey, I'm going to change. So I've been working on it and I've been doing this. But now you got to actually turn the corner. Like that joke says, if you have 10 birds that are on a wire, right? And 9 birds decide to leave, how many birds do you have left? Right? If we had a whole lot of time, I'd just hold off and say how many people says, well, it'll be 1 left, right? But really and truly, if 9 decide to leave, you still have 10 on the wire, because only a decision is not action, right? So if the birds haven't actually flown away, then that decision wasn't enough. Okay. So what we want to do is you made the decision to show up tonight and every other night that you've shown up. So now we want to make the decision to understand, what do I need to change in order to get myself to the next level? Because this here tonight is not, it's about you. It's not about me. It's not about anybody that invited you out. It's about you. And that's not about you to sell something, because if you are, new, or you catching this on repeat, this has nothing to do with sales. Okay. Now, we will teach you those different aspects, right? But it has nothing to do with those sales. Okay. So what I want to do is, let's go to the website right quick. So I want to make sure you guys were okay in getting that. I had a lot of individuals have questions, but I did have quite a few individuals that did get through with no problem. Okay. So in a couple of 2-3 minutes, let's see what this looks like. All right. So let me take this down. Let me get me out the way as well. All right. So now, as you see here, you will see the thing that separates the men from the boys. It separates the women from the girls, right? And what do I mean by that? Because here, it's not like you're going to join the other places where you go view a couple of seconds on this YouTube video, or you go over here on Instagram for a 30-second view, and somebody posts 3 maybe minutes on how to get your credit better, and then now you feel like you equipped to go and do those things. Now we're giving you the activation, and now we're going to see what are you going to do with this activation. We're going to remove all kinds of excuses that most people have been using in order to stop themselves or give themselves limits, right, from doing the things that they really want to do. All right. So let me get out of here. And let's just see at the top, make sure. All right. So you should be able to see at the top of the page here. So when we are starting, right, and this is when you are inviting others and they say, yeah, I want to start working on my purpose. Yeah, I want to start increasing, my credit rating. Yeah, I want to get this business credit going. Yeah, I want to get myself into the house in the next 3 to 6 months. Whatever that particular goal is, right, you're going to see what separates people is reading directions. Okay. So when I send those text messages to you, they may be long. When I send you emails, people say all this type of things. They want to come to something new and they want to say, this is how I do things, right? You don't go to that job that you're on and tell them this is how you do things. You don't go there and tell them you learn this way, right? When they say at Walmart, you got a meeting before you clock in. You don't start complaining, right? You show up 15 minutes before you get there and you clock in and you're ready for that meeting, right? So we got to do the same things as we work for ourselves. And if you do not believe that the results are here, then that's why we are inviting you out to say, okay, hey, why tune in? And if you do believe that the results are here, then let's go ahead and do the steps necessary to do that, right? Because if you were in your job, you would make sure that you understood how that machine worked, right? You would make sure you understood how that particular system worked, right? Whatever it is that you were working on, you knew that you had to get that right. But so it's so easy not to show up on 8:30 and say, Mike, I had this to do, or Mike, I had this to do. But at the same time, we want to say, I want to make this type of money. We want to say at the same time, I want to create this type of purpose in other people's lives. What are you going to be able to give out, right? Because without success, there's no success. So if you cannot produce the success within yourself by changing your procrastination, changing the way you do not take notes, changing the way you do not do the different things that's gotten you to where you are right now, right? See, I had a huge challenge because I was so adept to learning things that I would procrastinate because I liked to be pushed, right? I like to be kind of forced into a deadline, that was beforehand, before I did any activities. And that was just simply because I had trauma that was in my life, right? And that particular trauma would not allow me to activate the right things to do. So I had procrastination, I had hesitation, right? I was in all these other places than I was in my purpose. When I realized that what I had to do was stop thinking that Mike was the boss and start remembering that my schedule is the boss, right? That my mentor is the boss, right? Until you get to the place to understanding that you as a boss has gotten you where you are right now. So maybe you are to fire yourself or quit, right? And start to understand, let me take this off my head and let me just begin. Okay. So when you are starting, that very first instructions were to go here and to begin your purpose building. As you see at the top, videos to begin purpose building. So when you have somebody, you just send them over here, right? And you say, hey, I'm working on my purpose, but you can watch these videos, to show you how to get yourself registered, how to get your credit started, all those types of things, right? So these 3 videos will help you begin your journey. So this first video will show you how to sign up, how to register. Take a second, just take a few minutes and stop, because this is about what you want to produce. How can you change the particular things in a car or the anything that you're working on without the proper tools, right? And so my goal is to give you the proper tools. Okay, so it's not just here for saying, Mike, hey, my goal is to serve, but I don't want to do it out of vanity or emptiness when there's nobody taking advantage of these things, right? So that's why we begin with a 30-day process. This 30-day process is completely free. You can invite them, you can come in, or whomever, and for these 30 days, they can look and say, okay, is this what I want to do? Is this all about what they said it was? Okay, can I work on my personal credit? Am I moving? Okay, and then they can decide to go forward with us and to have access to the tools necessary, which are the credit repair documents, the personal credit strategies, the wealth strategies, the website, the portals, right? Those things are just $34.95 a month to have access to the things that you need. Personal software, business software. You see, we are trying to do things and trying to do it at the less amount of money as possible. And then we start to, and reason why I'm visiting this, because you have to remove the self-limiting thoughts. You have to remove those things that point at other people until you can understand that when you point that one finger, you have what? 3 fingers pointing back to you, right? So we got to understand that what am I doing to produce the things that I want in my life? See, beforehand, I reached out to others to say, because, hey, Mike, I'm paying this amount of money for this credit. I'm paying this amount of money for business credit. I'm paying this amount of money for my LLC. I'm paying this amount of money to get my business, all these types of things done. So I said, hey, great. I'm going to put it all in one place so you can have access to all of those things and just pay a single monthly fee. And you can get all the education, wisdom, knowledge that you need to duplicate somebody that's already been successful in that area. Okay, so we have people that's already been successful in creating brands, right? Creating brands of butter, candles. We have people that's already been successful in trucking. We have people that already been successful in real estate investing, already been successful as a realtor, already been successful in these things. So you do not have to recreate the wheel, but you got to get the enemy in the me out of the way. Until you do that, you will never plug in where you need to plug in, even though you didn't get the right training, the teaching, the necessary things in regular school. Do not allow that to hinder you from learning. We have videos, we have letters, we have text, we have structures where you don't even have to speak. We have all these different things so you can apply to get your what? Personal purpose in place. So while you are working on your personal purpose, that's your personal credit, business credit, leveraging credit, you're working on cash flow management, right? We're going to go back to that. So I want to get you to understanding here. This is to help you leverage your time. What does leverage mean? Leverage means that, hey, I'm going to work on something one time and it's going to produce for me over and over again. Okay. See, when you leverage something, that means that something produces for you over and over again. If it produces for you cash, then that thing is an asset, a capital asset. But it also can be an asset because this video will allow you to say, hey, let me reach out to, let's say, for instance, all the individuals in my family or in my circle that need to get their credit together, need to understand how to budget, need to understand personal development, how to think the right way for success, how to end procrastination, whatever the things are that they need. You can simply point them to a direction, then the system will run with them. Okay, just like this. You are in a river. You're in a canoe in a river, right? The river is the system that we're working with. Now, you can simply tell people to jump in the river, right? But if you do that, that's going to give them what? Information overload, because it's just going to be the river. So that's what we're getting when we just plug into the Instagram, the YouTube here, the TikTok here. We try to get a little bit of information here, right? We try to talk to Uncle Jojo about this here. We try to implement a little something over here and mess it all up over here, right? So we can end that right now. Give them the canoe, right? The canoe is the tools necessary, right? The website, the portals, the credit letters, the things, the Thursday night demonstrations, right? Then they take the canoe and then they get in the system. And now they're rocking with you in the river. You don't have to paddle anymore, right? And then that produces for you what you desire. Either you're going to leverage your time, or you're going to always be the one saying, I don't have enough time. You got to get to a place to where you start to buying back your time. And the only way you can do that is to have your money to make money for you, right? So you guys are in a position to take a couple $1,000s sometimes and have that created, not just 100% return, but we're talking about sometimes 1,000% return. Right. And if that return takes 6 months, a year, right, whatever that may be, it's not doing them. But if that did take that time frame, right, you should be over here working on your purpose, because where else are you going to double, triple, quadruple $2,000, $3,000? Where else would you do that? So continue working with your mind and understand that you're leveraging time, leveraging other people's wisdom, and also leveraging your money. Okay. So you send them here. And if you haven't done it, you come back here and then you see, hey, this is how I build a successful kingdom. Let me get myself registered with all the proper things. Okay. Let me look at the courses and see how the community is shaping up, right? Because I've seen a lot of individuals but there's only about 2 or 3 individuals that are there with a consistent logging in. And just congratulations to Carolyn and I want to say Cassandra. But both of them are a part of Miss Ishika's team. Okay. And so, guys, in order to glean from this, you have to see what it's about. How can you be in a house and you only live in one room, right? And that then you start to get this thing that comes about and says, hey, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this happening? When you have 10 other, an infinite amount of other things that you could be doing that will produce for you. Okay. So what I want to do is show you how to think differently about what you're doing. Continue with your purpose. You're doing the trucking. You're doing automobiles. You're doing skincare. You're doing mobile notary. You're doing massage therapy, whatever it is that you're doing, your purpose, you're doing, you're buying and focusing on land grabs, whatever you're doing, Let the system then allow you to do that. And then as you bump into others that are either on your same wavelength, or they may be others that can be a asset to what you're doing, and you just simply invite them to get their lives different, right? With the structures that we're showing them with personal credit, business credit, leveraging credit, so then they can get themselves together. This even shows you how to create your credit monitoring account. And then right here has a setup, so it takes you right to the website. Okay, so I wanted to go through that. That's your videos to begin purpose building. Okay, and when you go through the different pieces, if you have not registered yet, you can also come to your store, and the store will have any available courses that are out. Okay, see, I've already registered for all my courses, so there's no more available courses for me. All right, so let's see here. I think that'll be that portion. So now we want to go to the credit portion, right? So we can show you, okay, right now you should have everything in place, right? You should have registered for your credit monitoring system. You should have entered in your username and your login information into that. And I'm going to go through the onboarding process too, okay? Just to show you, just like welcome Marie Davis out of Ursula out of Clinton, South Carolina. And also my main man, my little brother, Quentin Jones, Greenville, South Carolina. Right. All right. So as you see here, guys, this is how we expand. So as Pastor Sims, we're going to get a conference, Saturday empowerment event soon, right? So as we're doing individual things, right, we make an announcement to the whole, and then the whole supports those individuals that are part of the membership, right? So then you have a co-op. And if you read your text messages, we're developing this co-op so that individuals that are supporting, they are also will be a part of this social media co-op. So as you do various postings of the day, like I know Miss McMorris does various postings, then what we're going to do is that post will be submitted to our particular co-op, right? There will be a page that we'll have in the course area, in the community area, and then we will share her post. If it's Pastor Sims, if it's Ursula David, if it's Quentin Jones, right? If it's Brittany Caldwell, we're going to put that post for the day, and I'm going to teach you how to do solution-oriented posts, not just stuff, right? Not just stuff posting, but something that's going to have a call to action. It's going to provide a solution to a particular question about your particular thing. If you're in trucking, and we want to say, okay, hey, what do you want to create out of trucking? You want others? Are you going to start doing the distribution? Are you going to start, what area are you doing? So we want to develop that so we can say, hey, this solution, hey, we have a problem with drivers not knowing how to get loads, right? Or we have problems with drivers not finding good companies. So then we start posting solution-oriented posts, and then us as a community, it could be 20, 30, 40, 50 of us in there, and then we share that particular person's post all around, right? So we take that next day or so and to continually to do that. We support one another in the community so that the dollar that moves around continually moves in our community, right? Normally we get paid and we go right out to Walmart. We go right out to over here. So we're creating a real mart so that when Ursula has things that she's wanting to provide, right, then those particular services or products will be listed in our real mart, which will be an online, think about a Walmart, but online for the Black community, or whichever, like you put that, person of color, or however individuals say those things, right? So as we're doing that, now we will start to, just like Miss Tony says, let's be a support system, right? And she has her own, Tony, she has her own show, right, where she has testified about and I'm not going to tell her testimony, but we're going to invite, just like we invite others to do their testimony. But this was the testimony that was close to death. Right. So I definitely want you to hear this. It's at one point in time. But yes, let's support, others. OK, there you go. Can't build something strong off a shaky foundation. Right. The credit supports everything. OK. All right. So that's what we want to have a focus on, is to be a person that says, oh, hey, what in my life is unfreaking necessary? Right. Because I guarantee you that you can carve out 30 minutes out of your day. If you can't carve out, if it's not 30 straight minutes, you can carve out 30 minutes here or there, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here. I guarantee you. But we want to teach you how to carve out an hour out of your day. Right? We carve out 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? Whatever that is, we have to get to a place to where we invest in our lives. We got to stop looking for something to change us and then find the information and implement the information. That is what changes you, right? It's the information you get. It's not the motivation, because the motivation is when I send out text messages to say, hey, wait, make sure you join, make sure you join, make sure you be there at 8:30, might wins it again. And they hit all my leaders. And my leaders say, they always asking me for the different texts, when is it going to be? That's understandable, because you're changing. I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying now is the time to step up and say, at 8:30, every night, I'm going to put into my phone on Thursday night to give me an alert, right? So that at 8:15, I'm getting ready to log in. At 8:15, I'm starting to find my pen, my pencil. 8:15, I'm sending out text messages saying, hey, you need to be, all these individuals said, I want a house, I want a car. I'm sending these out there to them, right? So that they can say, you got to take full control over your life. And this is not, I guarantee you, this is not something that you should take lightly. Generally, if anybody would tell you honestly what they have put in their businesses, not just the cultivating of the business itself, but the education, right? Listen to those people that are on your Instagram pages and stuff like that. Not the ones that are just, the fly by and those type of things, but the ones that have quote unquote made it, right? Listen to them and their philosophy. See, they'll say, Mike, how do you do? How do you do? And they say, or somebody asking them, how do you do? They don't immediately tell you how to do, because how to do is simple. How to do is simple. But how to get me in a position to do it, that's what's not simple. How many times am I going to give myself an excuse not to do it? I'm sleepy, I'm tired, the kids, my husband, my wife, right? Mike sucks, right? Whatever it may be, right? We got to do what we do, right? Exactly, Miss Bond. We got to be in a position. Sharon's doing a lot out there. I see a lot of the different pieces where she's logging in and seeing how things work, right, and sending out messages and things like that, as well as those people. Exactly, it's amazing how things are happening, right? Initiative, right? It's just on point. Every time I'm thinking of something, somebody's posting something, right? And so as we are tuning in, I've made it very simple. Right? All you have to do is, anytime you're thinking about what do I do, where do I go, what it is that I need to do, all it is therealyou.club. That's it. And everything after that, let me put that post here right quick. And everything after that is listed on the site, right? It's listed up on the links. The videos that you need to start is right there, right? The credit portals, how to get in, it's right there. Matter of fact, let's do that right quick, because there's no reason, right, to go forward and there's confusion. Okay, so that's what we're going to eliminate that right quick. Okay. So as you see here at the top, Whenever you join, you say, what, when's the link on Thursdays? Just come back to the site, therealyou.club, and click here. Boom. And that'll take you right to the bottom. And you'll see the site, right? And when you see the site, as you can see here, I made it so simple. You click the site, right? And when you see the site, it takes you right to it, okay? And then if you click the button, it'll take you right to the YouTube, to where you can, join and chat and let everybody know that you're here. Because I don't know that you're here if I don't know that you're here, right? And so those individuals that let me know that they're here, then that's where my focus can go. Do you see what I'm saying? So I got to know that you're getting something from what we're doing, right? And see the website, as you can see, it will explore that individual's mindset and let them know, okay, what it is that we're doing at the Real University. What is it that we're, attempting, right? Not attempting, what are they attempting if they want to join us, okay? So we have the testimonies here. We have who we are, right? And all the individual pieces that you need, okay? And all that you always are, anything that you have to do is listed on this page. Join the site here, okay? All these different, just look around rather, and see what's working, okay? So let's get into your personal credit right quick, right? Oh, most definitely. See, this is also how you're going to create business credit. You see, as the Pastor Sim says, all right, Alpha Supplies, DM me. So willing to change vendors. What happens with this is you have things you're already looking to do in your business, or you have things that you're already doing in your business. You're already spending money on postage, on gas, on Alpha Supply. See, and then we give you the vendors then that will report to the Dun & Bradstreet, to report to your business credit, and not using something, right, that does not, right? So we want to always, get you in a position to be the best you can be. And if that thing is to be whatever that may be, right? Who knows? Who somebody on here on the line? We have people from 18 to probably 80 on the line, right? And so we could have the next Sojourner Truth, right? We could have, because we still need to have another Harriet Tubman, because we still are slaves, regardless if you believe it or not. So that's what we're here to do, is allow you to be those people, to grab your community and say, hey, I got the juice, right? I mean, y'all see that movie, right? I got the juice. Let me show you the way. Let's get your personal credit together. If you got partners, your family members, why aren't they, right? I understand some just don't have it in them to do the necessary things to say, hey, let me sit down and take this 8:30 and get myself together. I understand that. But you got to be, the person that says, I see people going off a cliff, right? And if you bring your individuals together with you, then you can say, hey, I got a team of 3 or 4 people over here, my cousin, my brother, my auntie, or whatever. I got, 5 or 6 people over here, a couple in California, whatever. But those teams are together. Y'all are tuning in every Thursday. You get your personal credit together. Now the 5 of you have grabbed $20,000. Now y'all got $100,000 to join and go ahead and grab some type of business, and you continue. You don't stop just because you got funding. See, that's the thing. People are getting funding and they're stopping. People are getting a little bit of information and they're stopping. They're not continuing, okay? So we want to make sure that you continue once you get that. So now you got this team of individuals. Y'all are tuning in. You're gleaning, you're understanding. Your personal credit is at 700, 720. Business credit is at 80. Pay that score, right? You got $40,000 on personal. You got another $40,000 on business. That's 5 of y'all over there. So that's $80,000 a person, right? 80 times 5, right? 8 times 5, what's that? 40. So that's $400,000 that you guys have just accumulated. Listen. Right? And see, if you understand what we're doing and why I do it this way now, is because I have been going around like the barber, right, with a bad haircut, because I've not had the time to actually do our own thing, me and my family, right? So now I'm doing it with you guys so that I can leverage my time as well as teach as well. So now what we're going to do is, as you rock with us, right? So you're going to have the business credit in place, and we're going to continue to plug in, and then we're going to come back together, right? This person over here has a team of 5. This person over here has a team of 1, right? Hey, you're just getting going, right? And maybe your circle is not in the mindset, so it's just you right now. So you focus on yourself. If they're not listening to you and where you're going, then why in the world are you listening and talking to you about the Cowboys, right? It's okay. I'm not saying stop being for the Cowboys or Pittsburgh or whomever you are for, right? But you got to say, hey, yes, Cowboys, go, 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 rah, rah, right? I'm an Atlanta Falcon fan. I'd be like, yeah, Falcons. But have I seen one game? Not one. Why? Because my family is not getting paid by Art freaking whatever his name is that owns the Falcons, right? So we got to maneuver within this thing so that now we are joining one another. Now these teams come back together with the real families, right? And now we have assets, we have cash flow, and now we can maneuver within political arenas. We can go and do things now because we have millions in asset bases all under one roof, okay? So as we do this, now your credit is together, and we can then show you, okay, hey, don't get that car from here. We have somebody that owns a car lot. Let's go to wholesale and we'll do it and get you some savings. Don't buy that house, $100,000, $200,000 house. You're going to pay more in taxes and everything. So you're going to pay $110,000 for it, right? So let's not buy it that way. Let's buy it wholesale. Let's not go travel that way. Let's travel wholesale. Do it from yourself. Let's not buy our butters and skin conditioning that way. Let's buy it from ourselves. We have a line care of Candaholics, right? So that we can get those things from others. Let's not go over there and get understanding from our CPAs. We got a CPA over here. Let's not go to trucking over there. We got trucking over here. Let's not go to that particular Walmart. We got a real mart over here. You see what I'm saying? If we do those things, there's nothing that can stop us. Then all we got to do is keep it quiet. That's the other thing that kills it. Don't go out there sharing it with the others, right? If they're not going to tune in on Thursdays, do not share with them the things that's going to only come back to bite you, right? As the word says, we do not share the pearls before swine. Do you see what I'm saying? So you go and you create the wealth strategies for you, because you are the one that I'm talking to. And if only you work on you, then you're going to be awesome. And that's the only thing that I'm concerned about. I'm that watchman that's going to say, get this thing together, right? There's a friend of mine that I met 20 plus years ago when I was just moving to Greenville, South Carolina. I was living in a shack, right? And then this was after, right? I was on this person's couch for a few months, right? I was probably 19, 20 years old, okay? And then from there, I lived in my car. And from there, I lived in the back of somebody's garage, right? And I saved money. Then from there, if you guys know anything about Greenville, I lived in Augusta Hills Apartments, right? And so that was at that point in time, that thing was $300 a month, right? And so I saved. And when I was there, I walked over and I got my hair cut at Flavor. And then I walked down a little bit further down 25, and I got a job over there at Edgecombe Metals, right? And then I just kept on doing what I was doing. And then as I gathered enough credit, I went and I invested again into properties, right? And then I started building and building and building and building over the next few years until the time I was 38 years old. I built up to where I had 62 houses, right? And over $4 million in assets. And then 2008 happened and it lost everything, right? So I'm telling you this to show you, I started with a $4 million deficit. Do you see what I'm saying? I had to not only take care of take care of all of those houses before I could jump from zero. You see what I'm saying? So I'm telling you how we did what we did to get to where we are. And it's not fair to say, Mike, I'm going to do this right here and only this, but I want to get the same results that you've gotten by using your wisdom. That's not fair. What you got to do is jump in and give it your all so that you can produce everything that you are getting from this. See, I can give you everything, but you can still be like 1 out of 100 people can say this, and then 1 out of 100 say this, and then 10 out of 100 say that, right? And it's the same experience that they can have, but they couldn't because of their mindset, right? So continue with everything that you're looking to do, but you have to do it in the mindset, hey, I am thinking that where I am is not where I want to be. So let me take my head off, right? And then let me work this thing out, right? Because that's what we're doing, okay? Right? And I appreciate, those that are tuning in. So that's what I had to do. I had to start eliminating because I wasn't able to focus on those that were really doing what they wanted, doing and getting it done, right? I wasn't able to focus on you guys. And so that's what we're doing. We want to focus on you guys, right, Corey? Right? Augusta Hills, exactly. And I tell you what, within 2 months, I had to move because I was working second shift and evidently somebody's watching me and they broke into my place. I'm on second shift. I'm only going from 2 to 10, and somebody broke in there in between that time, right? So, man, this is what I can show you how to do this thing. But I want to give you a platform to leverage not just your purpose, but now you're able to do what? You're working on your purpose. You're ironing, you move, not ironing literally, but you're chopping wood. You're working on your thing, right? You're not hustling anymore because you're doing it the right way. You're working from a budget. You're working from an operating, cost. You understand your projections, right? You understand demographics. You're doing advertising to get people to see your brand, not just this 107. That's fine, but that really doesn't get the type of people that you desire. Advertising on the radio and those types of things, you have to do something different, right? And so that's what we want to do. We want to do this, right? There you go. Keep them dreams to yourself, right? Because those things, you work on you. As you're working on you, what I was saying, you start pointing the way. So they be saying, hey, Corey, how you doing that right there? You say, hey, I really don't have time right now. But what you can do is if you're serious, I can see if I can get you a seat on our strategy session on Thursday. But we ain't, not if you just, kicking tires or you're not really serious. See, they got to see that you've changed. But if you just say, hey, we're doing something on Thursday and, you may be okay, if you drop by, Nah, we're doing something on Thursdays, changing people's lives, right? We're showing people how to get their credit right, how to get their budget right, how to get the understanding what they're doing with that money. So when their money gets there, right? How many people are buying these lottery tickets, right? You know why I don't buy them? Not because I don't think I can win. It's simply because I don't get there on time, right? Because I think I can win. I think I'm very positive in that thing, right? But I do not do it because I don't want others to see me doing it. You see what I'm saying? So they be like, Mike, I thought you was working on the business thing. Why are you taking these chances and stuff with this particular chance that you're taking, right? Why are you spending money like that, right? I don't want that to be seen. But it's so many people that still have won money and they've come up missing, right? Or they've died, or they just lost it all, right? So that's what we're doing, okay? We want to give you that recipe, okay? Like she said, it won't it won't be the same sauce because you are doing trucking. You are doing personal accounting. You are doing skincare line. You are doing automobile, right? Whatever those things are, you're doing real estate investing. Whatever those things are, right? It still go through the lines. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and show you this as we leave this off. I'm going to show you how the credit repair, should look like, your secure client access. Okay. So I'll show you how to get around back there. And I definitely appreciate you all. Like I say again, though, everything that I do, you can access it straight from the page. Okay. Straight from that page. So let me stop that share. And there. Yep, the Little Cricket store right down the street from Augusta Hills. I used to tear that store up. That was the closest one in walking distance. And I had to be careful too, because what you call it was right across the street as well. So I was walking across the street, and you know what? There was a gentleman's club that was right there. And I was just a new pastor, so I had to, be careful, right? I had to keep my eyes there, right? But yeah, it's funny back then. It's funny now, but you go through what you go through so that you can help others, right? And so that's what I believe. And so now I'm gonna show you how to overcome what took me 30 years to do, but at the same time, give it your all, right? Give it your all. Be here, right? Whatever those times are. We got, you saying that, hey, I want to create this life for myself, but you want to take an hour out of 1 week to be here, right? And that's what we don't want to do, right? We want to create ourselves, something, right? Most definitely, no problem whatsoever, right? So, yeah, definitely. I had to keep my eyes down playing with these people. So let's go to secure client access, present, share screen, window, Chrome tab. All right, so you should be able to see that now or shortly, okay? So this is where you're going to be, and you see the emails coming from Real University, right? Take a second and just go through your emails and see what's happening. Okay, because everything is detailed in there. It gives you invites for your credit monitoring, keeps everything, nice in order. Okay, so when you log in, this is what you'll see. It depends on if you have registered for both. Okay, so you have a client side and then you have an affiliate side. Okay, and when you have either or, this is the affiliate side. This is where you're going to, when you invite others over, right? And they say, yeah, this is cool. And they come in for the initial Thursday night call. And they say, okay, great, I want to join. We send them to the first videos, and the first videos will walk them through how to register themselves. Okay. You let me know, right, that particular person has, registered or whatever. And I make sure that, we get them assigned to you. Okay. So then you'll be able to go into your affiliate side and just think about it. If you have individuals around you, even at 18, 19 years old, right? I have many, 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 many different of my friends that their kids were turning 18 and becoming 700 credit score holders, right? Because now what we do is, as a team, we start to assign the authorized users to the 18-year-old's account, right? So now this 18-year-old has 3 or 4 accounts that we've aged. And now the 18-year-old has now a 700 score. Now we show them how to what? Gain the credit leverage, then invest from the credit leveraging, right? It's the same process. Nothing changed. So this is how we're going to pass generational wealth, right? So as you see here, these are your different tabs at the top. When you hit my account, walks you through, tells you who you were referred by, okay? And also you log in here. If you have a person that is not, let's say for instance, you want to go ahead and put them in, right? Instead of sending them to the website and say, hey, go to the website and then log in. You want to go ahead and get this person in. You may have, 4 or 5 people that said, hey, yeah, I definitely want to get involved with that. And they came to the Thursday, right? And then you just go here, send a referral, and you just type all their information in, right? And now you're done, okay? And so now you have sent that referral in. So that's all you have to do, okay? So you have those people that like Tony, Yashika, Quentin, all you guys that are, JR, that are inviting others, right? So this is how you do from now on. Those people that you invited, now they come out to Thursday, say, yeah, I like what I saw. I want to start on, getting that rocking and rolling. So you come here, send a referral, they go right here into your line. Okay. And once they do, you will then see your individuals, your clients that you referred line up here. And what you can do as well, I'm going to click on a house one. This is not a person. And you can view a summary of your person, of your client, where they are, what's going on. You'll be able to see different scores and everything that they've been changing. Okay. Any messages coming from the corporate, coming from me or Ms. McMorris or anybody that's in the back office, right? If you're a person that you are doing websites and things like that, you are very, you know how to do those things. You can take this and post it on your site, and then person can actually sign up on your site. And we do English and Spanish as well. It's already set up for you. Okay. And let's go out. And we're going to go switch accounts and go back to the clients. Okay. Okay. So when you go through this is your office. So this is when you're working on your personal credit, right? And so now you'll be able to see where you are. Okay. So simple here is your onboarding steps. As soon as you log in, these are your onboarding steps. Sign up for Credit Hero Score and share login details. Complete now. Set up your digital signature. Complete now. Upload photo ID. Right. Complete now. Right. And so that's all you have to do is do those different things there and follow those steps. Take your second, because this is for what? You. Right. So as you do that, you'll be able to see the different things. Okay. How to get your process. I'm gonna go back so you can see a sample client. Okay, but I wanted to see your back office or what a back office would look like. You can go to your dispute details and be able to see what's going on, what the level of disputes, if they've been sent out, what time were they sent out or what date they were sent out, right? And we'll keep it right there, right, for right now. And then I want to show you as we put this thing together as well. Let's see here. All right, so now we're going to show you what an example of what yours could look like and when it gets started. Okay. So as you see here, right, this particular individual would have started in August the 1st, 2012, okay? And it is tracks all the way up until they reach the sevens, right? And then on the way, it shows your dispute status, okay? Gives you all your layouts. And if we have a particular task for you, it'll be listed here as well, okay? All these different things that we got to do. Like some of you individuals are in the real estate or business financing and those types of things, right? And so you're getting funding. So this is where we'll be able to upload your EIN letter, your taxes, operating agreement, bank statements, application. So all this will be where you will be able to find your things that you have uploaded, and it's a safe and secure environment. And so if you upload and we need it, all we have to do is come here and we can download it in order to send it to where we need to send it. Okay. And let me exit out of that. So this is how simple it is, right? Yeah, definitely. Thank you. So it's just how things can be, but you have to, right? Which page? Oh, okay. Let me show you what that was. All right, so here you have the main page, therealu.club. What that was secure credit. Let me put this up here. Okay, so you should be able to see in a couple of seconds the top. Okay. You see secureclientaccess.com. SEC. Well, let's do it this way. Amen. Our past is our proof of true measure of progression in our future improvement. Tell you, you can't look back thinking that it's going to look like what it's going to look going forward, right? If you keep looking back, it's going to look exactly like it looked back there if you keep looking back, okay? So secureclientaccess.com. That /home, that's there too, but that's just going to take you to the page. What I'm going to do though, that secure client access, from now on out, after tonight, you'll be able just to click one of the buttons on the Real You or the link on the Real You, and you'll be able to take you to right there. It'll say, your credit portal, so, something to that effect. All right. So as you're getting these things together, I want you to think about this, because this is being, I hope you're taking notes, for the different things, how to get around, how to get into your different areas. And this is one area that I know, which are the communities, but we'll hit that later. Okay. But you got to do where you got to do, and make sure your credit is uploaded. When your credit is uploaded, then we'll be able to do, what you saw there, what you're saying here. When you've gone through those steps and you've gone through the onboarding, you set up your credit hero and you uploaded your login details, we will then be able to send your letters off. Okay. Now, this is the difference, right? And why we do what we do. And let me show you that, and we'll be able to get out of here. Okay. And so you guys, I'm gonna go through this in like the next 5 minutes, and you'll be able to, revisit this, pause it, and, go back through each slide, those types of things, because it's going to be fairly quick. But this is going to show you your own personalized cash flow plan. See, we want you to have a blueprint, right? Not just happy-go-lucky, a wandering generality. No, we want you to have a blueprint, not just, I hope one day this happens. No, we want you to write down how you're going to get from A to B, right? How, what is that vision? Cast that vision, right? Write it down so those that read it can run with it, right? So personal cash flow plan, PCP, personal cash flow plan. Personal cash flow plan. Do you have a plan, right, for whatever you're doing? What they say, my mom said me, I was raised without a dad. So my mom always said, hey, a man without a plan, right, is not a man, right? And so that's what we got to create, right? So all you're looking to do is understand you got 3 wealth building strategies and only 2 financial objectives. You might say, Mike, I want this, I want that, I want this. No, you got 3 wealth building strategies, 2 financial objectives. Let's stop listening to Ray. Let's stop listening to the latest Instagram crap. Let's stop doing that. Let's work on principles and strategies, not the latest trinket, not the latest hot thing, not the latest this, that, and the other. It's simple. We need assets for your current lifestyle and your future lifestyle. That's it. You need cash flow that's going to be able to take care of your bills that you got right now while you can work. Then you need money and cash flow because you're not going to want to work or be able to work because they're going to say, hey, you're too old or whatever it is or whatever the motive. You want to have assets to take care of your future lifestyle. That's all you're doing. And how are you doing that? Cash flow management. That's understanding how to increase your cash flow, how to manage it. Then you want to inject business income. Why? Because you need 1099 income in order to pay less taxes. Don't worry about the why. You know, why is the sky blue? Why? No. Don't sign up for that course, right? Get out of that. Just know that these are the things that you need to have in place, right? Then investment income, right? This will give you everything that you're desiring all at the same time. It will pull you in focus. So those of you like to do this will pull all of that in focus. I will show you and teach you more on brand management so you can understand your target management, your target demographic management. So you know who you're talking to. You don't want to talk to everybody. This is 8 billion people or so, right? We don't need to talk to everybody. We need to focus on talking to the person that we feel most comfortable to talk to, right? So now when you do that, you have a detailed plan on how to apply your discretionary or your extra cash flow. See, we start immediately say, I need more money. And so now we put ourselves into this situation over here and say, hey, Mike, I put this over here. Show it. It ain't got yet. It ain't paying out yet. It ain't playing out yet. Hey, no, what you got to do is continue and understand that should have been discretionary, extra cash flow so that it's out there making money for you, right? And then you work on how to increase your other cash flow in other areas so that you can free yourself, okay? And that gives you financial success. So your goal, number one, acquire as much cash flow as possible, right? Understand why are we doing what we're doing. Business income and business credit allow you to leverage. You start receiving income from something that you do one time, and it creates other income or other leverage possibilities, right? And that's your business income and business credit. Okay. We don't want to just jump out there and say, hey, I need a second job. Hey, I want to sell some plates. Hey, nah, we want to create a business, not establish another hustle. Okay. So now we want to start reducing your taxes by understanding to adjust your W-4. If you're working a regular job right now, when I say regular, I mean opposite of a 1099 independent contractor. Right? You're working on a job that takes taxes out. We want to get that adjusted because that's 30% of your money that you're giving away every month just to get an extra $2,000 or $3,000 at the end of the year, right? If you're making $40,000 a year, you're losing $12,000 a year just because they're taking it for taxes, 30%. Right? So if you get back $12,000 a year, then you can do things differently. You don't have to sell plates. You don't have to have a sell that second car. You don't have to get a second job, right? Because you made an adjustment and now you're paying less taxes, which increases your increases your cash flow. Then you want to get your personal credit together. That's going to get your interest better. You're going to get better insurance. You're going to get better jobs, right? Because whether you know it or not, your raises, all those types of things, they're looking at your credit, okay? Reduce your expenses, okay? Then eliminate all debt possible. See, all these things, that's 5 things that you can do to get your cash flow up, right? Not take more time. See, what most people are doing is they're saying, I'm already lacking time. I know I don't have time. And see, what I'm showing you is how to get back some of that time. Start doing things that will increase your leverage. Getting another job just is going to take away more time. So now you got to pay more taxes, time away from the house, time away from your significant other, right? We got to do things the smart way, okay? And then get our ways back to increasing the cash flow, okay? So it's more to the steps on personal cash flow plan, but we're not going to go further into that. It goes all the way into paying off debt, increasing your 401ks, all those right steps that you should be doing to implement yourself into personal financial success. But these are the first steps that you and I should always be seeing, are we taking advantage of? Okay. And see, if you're watching the courses will walk you through how to do these things. Okay. Now, wrapping this up, this is what we do. So as you invite other people, our goal is to show them that, hey, if you want to be better, if you want to create better credit, better business credit, if you want to get into the house, if you want to invest in properties, wherever those things are, access to capital and real estate. It's within those two categories. If they need money for a car, house, jobs, dentistry, whatever it is, that's access to capital. Everything else is real estate, houses, saving houses, refinancing, all those things, right? So as they come over here, they start to glean. So that first Thursday, they're saying, hey, oh, this is cool. I can work on my personal credit. Let me register. Let me get this stuff up. Let me get my credit going and everything like that. Let me get all that stuff going, right? And so now they're looking in, they're seeing what we're doing, okay? Now, what happens is the person is going to need the tools, which are the credit repair videos, the credit repair documents, all those types of things in order to complete what they're trying to do. To be on these calls, it's cool. You can get the free, information and say, hey, I'm learning. But in order for you to implement it, right, that's when we go for the $34.95. That gives you the website. That gives you the portals. That gives you the business credit documents. That gives you the personal credit documents, right? Excuse me, not the business credit documents, but the personal credit documents, you see? And all of those things are right there in line, okay? And see, if they don't want to do it themselves, then they can step up and say, hey, here's $250. And then we'll take care of the personal credit for them, right? Or they can say, hey, Mike, I don't want to do none of this stuff, right? And they can say, hey, that particular package then for the business credit, personal credit, and up to $40,000 is $2,500. Okay. And then we take them through the steps. They still tune in here, right? But now we will be executing the different steps that they need. We will be finding the vendors that they need and say, hey, here's the vendors. Go ahead and execute those vendors. When you execute the vendors, what's going to happen? They're going to start reporting to your DMB and your NAV account. Now they start reporting to your NAV account, you start getting a score. Now you get a score, we go over here and get you these revolving accounts. We go over here to Office Depot, Staples, these other places. Now, once that happens, we go over here and get other revolving accounts, the small Visas, 2,500, 3,000. Now that's in place. Now we go over here and get the line of credit for 40,000, 20,000, whatever those are, right? And see, those steps will take you 5 to 6 months if you take the time and get those vendors in line as well. Our goal is to give you those vendors, right? Tune in and get yourself in place, right? But if you want to take the sweat equity, all you got to do is tune in and you can get the DIY package for the business credit, right? And so I don't want to go into all those things, but everything I mentioned, we also do profit sharing. And so that's what I was saying. While you work on yourself, you getting your credit together, your business credit together. Then of these people over here, they might say, man, what's this you got going on, Corey? What's this right here you got going on, Maria? What's this you got going on, Ursula? What's this you got going on, JR? And they say, well, this is how you do. No, we don't want to instruct them. We just want to say, hey, if you like to, you can jump on a call Thursday, only if you're serious, and I can see if I can get you an invite. And they may help you with that particular challenge that you have. Right? We get them on a Thursday night call. Now that person says, hey, I love what you're doing. And they say, great. And then they get their particular things. They pay their $35.95, right? Then you get a portion of that. If they pay $250 to do their personal credit, you get a portion of that. If they pay $2,500, you get a large portion of that, right? So it keeps going up. If they buy a house, you get a portion of that. See what I'm saying? We profit share. So now you're creating multiple streams of income by simply being on fire with yourself. You're plugging in on Thursdays. You're going to the courses. You're looking at the community, making sure you're in step with everything that you need to be. You're on fire. You make sure everything's in place. And they're going to see the change that's happening in your life. And then those people, you invite them over here, which will start creating streams for you, right? But in between those times, like say, for instance, you're working on a real estate investment, right? You should also be working on your personal credit, your business income, right? You should also be working on cash flow management. Where's your budget together? You should also be working on your personal cash flow plan, making sure everything's in place. You should be working on your blueprint, right? You should be working on getting yourself better, personal development, reading 10 pages of a good book every day. See, all these things we have in line so that you can continue moving, right? If you need that day-to-day stuff, you say, Mike, right now, I need some additional income. I will teach you, right? And we will teach you how to do what we do, right? Because it is not about the individual that's out there. People say, Mike, I don't do particular things in sales and stuff like that because, I just don't like sales, right? People don't like sales because people don't like being rejected, right? And that's okay. But I will show you how to do this, because who doesn't need more money and better credit? All right. So that was it. So you should have, and if you don't have your stuff uploaded, right, your personal credit portal done to where you got your credit monitoring done, right? Because we have already started uploading those progress reports. I'm going back to high school. Progress reports. But yeah, so we're going to upload your credit reports and start to doing those particular disputes and things that you have, your negative items, your inquiries, right? We're going to start working on those right away. So make sure that you go and get yourself registered. How you do that? You go back to therealyou.club, and then you hit first videos and make sure you signed up. One thing too, try not to work as much on your phones, because phones have a different software and it is noted by certain places. And when it's noted by certain places, then you can't see certain things, right? You can't do certain things. So try to find yourself to get to a place to where you can, if you say, hey, I don't have the money for a laptop, I understand. I did the same. I went to the library, right, and did my work. I said, hey, from this time to this time, I need to have access to a computer. So I said, hey, I got off my butt and went to the library and I did my work, right? It's no different. It's no different when, if you're anywhere near my age group. I was born in 72, right? So while we were going through school, we didn't have no internet. We didn't have no getting online, right? We didn't have none of that stuff, right? We had to execute. We had to go and make sure things happen, right? So this is all good. All right. Cool. Do you have a question? If you have a question, you can pop it in your comment as well. And we can definitely work that out. Appreciate it. So we're going to start working on your personal credit. And guys, also, we didn't touch it, but because I don't think many people have gotten that far, but the business credit, if you have not seen the assignment to start on your business credit, review episode number 2, right? And then you'll find out the instructions and the assignment that you need to start working on to begin on your business credit, okay? So don't let another 6 months pass you by and you have not activated the real you, right? Who you really are, okay? So once again, guys, I appreciate it. And this is what you need to do, where you need to be. All you have to do is say, am I doing what is the best for me at this time? It is watching this particular show, right? Not that I can't watch it, but let's take a few minutes and read. Let's take a few minutes and see, have I got my cash flow management together? So let's take a few minutes to see these different things, okay? And those of you that are, like I say, that are saying, hey, I'm with that, I need my tools and everything like that, we will be sending your paperwork off digitally. You will not have to print it off, put it in the paper, the post office or whatever, right? We will be doing it by digitally, right? We have a system that is like no other. I don't even think you've heard of this. We can send it off within the system, right? So when you have just let me know and we'll make sure that you get signed up, get with a person that's referred you. Some of you guys have already done your 34.95, so just continue, right? And some of you have killing it with the processes, so continue to do that, right? So guys, this is everything. I appreciate it, guys. Pastor Sims, look, bro Jones, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Miss Tony. And guys, let me see. Like I said, episode 2 will tell you what you need to grab on your business credit so you can start working on your business credit. If you have not got those things, if you're an individual that you've already part of the $2,500 process, then just get with us and we'll show you where you are, what you need to be doing, and processes that will be taken care of. Okay, so let's rock and roll with So Much Soul, like you're 103 years old. I bet you don't remember that song. That is the Planet Rock. So you guys have a good one. See you on the other side of purpose. This side's too easy. Peace.